Hi, Carol here. Welcome to my craft room. I'm going to be doing a wonderful script embedded technique I think you're really going to like. I'm using a 120-pound white cardstock folded on the long side, and we are going to use the Stamp of Approval Wonderful World set. Just love it. And here I am scoring it. It's 5.5 by 4.25 standard A2 size. And we are going to do a technique that usually you have to rip out paper, use Mod Podge, some type of glue, put it down to look like an old script piece of paper, but you don't have to do that. I'm going to show you a beautiful technique using Post-it paper. I have the 8.5 by 11 inch sheets. I'm going to take a piece here that is 5.25 by 4.5. And I'm going to cut the center out just a little bit so that I can get my fingers in there, and I am going to rip it so that it looks like aged paper. I love this technique because it looks like you have taken aged paper and you've embedded it into your cardstock, when all you're doing is taking a Post-it note paper right here, peeling it off to look like parchment. And then you're going to keep the inside guts there because you're going to use it later. Then you're going to stick it down. You're going to take the back off right here. This is what I love about the Post-it note in the full sheets, 8.5 by 11. And I just cut it out to fit the front of this A2 cardstock. And then I'm going to put it on my sleeve, so that right there, so that I can take off some of the sticky, because you don't want it to be too sticky on here, yet you want to have it down for when you use your inks. I'm going to be using Distress inks. I want to make it look like aged parchment paper. I'm going to take the Post-it and cut a 1-inch strip to put down towards the bottom where I can have my sentiment. I think it looks really good to the eye to have something torn on the sides that looks like the parchment paper, but yet has this vivid cut for the sentiment area. And the Post-it paper comes in really handy for doing things like that, and you can use it over and over again. Look at that, isn't that sweet? For my stamp set, I'm going to use the Whiff of Joy Lovely Vintage, and it has 3 sets in here. It has a typewriter font, it has a newspaper font, and it has the beautiful lovely script vintage font, and that's the one I'm going to take out to use. And I'm not going to put it on a block, and the reason for that is you're going to get light pressure and heavy pressure when you do it just with your hand, and to me that gives an aged look, because if you get an old newspaper, you will see that not all the print is very dark. It's light and dark from being sitting for a while, and it just adds to the vintage feel. I'm going to use MFT's Black Licorice Hybrid ink. I like this for 2 reasons. One, it gives me time to use my clear embossing powder, and it's nice and dark so that where I press, it will come out dark. Where I don't, it will give me a light image, and I like that. So we're going to heat set this. I am going to stamp it all the way down the page, and then we're going to release the paper. It's going to look beautiful. Doesn't look that way right now, but it is a really nice look. And I use as you notice, I use one side of the stamp and then the other side so that you get different prints, just in case somebody looked at it or was trying to read it. Yeah, it'll be all different. So I kind of like that, and I think you're going to love the look of this. Now I chose here, I'm just showing you the different fonts. Aren't they beautiful? You have the typewritten font on the bottom and the newspaper print on the top, and in the middle was the vintage. So you can use any inks here. I chose Distress. I chose to go with the greens and the yellows in here, like the Squeezed Lemonade, and the green is Forest Moss. And now comes the wonderful reveal. And you want to be really careful when you do this, because you don't want to tear any of the paper underneath. And doesn't that look beautiful? Yeah, I'm making sure that I clean my hands there, because I don't want to get any on the white, although I am cutting this in half. I'm going to raise it up on another card. I decided to go with a black cardstock to match the black ink, but that'll come later on, and I'll show you how it looks so nice with the black background. So here we're taking it off to reveal. Look at that. This looks like it just came that way. Generally, to get this look, you have to take newsprint tissue, your Mod Podge, and it's always raised and it always has dimension, where this is flat and you can use any stamp set. But if you're using script, doesn't it look beautiful? It is just smooth and gorgeous. I love this vintage look to the paper. In the Stamp of Approval kit, I took some of the small images like the ladybug, you can see them all here, the little flowers, the butterfly, and I set them over there on my block in just a random order so that I could stamp them all at once. And I stamped it all the way, like you can see around the page, turning it now and again. I'm using Versamark, nice juicy pad there, and then my Wow Vintage Gold embossing powder, and it's a detailed embossing powder, and you're going to want to put some baby powder on the cardstock beforehand, or any type of powder that you have, so that the little wee trickles of the powder don't stick. And I think this is going to look really nice. I know it is. I'm doing a voiceover. That's why I know. I already did it and it looked wonderful. I love this kit. It is a wonderful set of dies and stamps. Now I'm going to take a deep distress green. I'm sorry I didn't put what it was, but it's beautiful. I'm going around the edges and I'm going to do it quite dark right here. And remember, we have the gut center on the page that we ripped out of the Post-it note in there, so that when we add the squeezed lemonade to the green, we're going to push it from the green. We're going to push it from the Post-it paper out to the green, and that way it doesn't get underneath. I think it's a wonderful look, and I love the squeezed lemonade. It's such a beautiful yellow. And then when we take the center out like this, oh my, it's just beautiful. Yes, you want to be very careful taking the paper off here, because you don't want to raise up any of the ink, or do you want to raise up any of your distress work there and put it onto the white. And I do love this look. I like that look, but you know me, I like the shabby chic vintage. I don't like to have any of the white showing, but when you look at this, yes, it does have a really nice look to it, showing the edges, and you could keep it just like this, but I'm going to show you an alternative to working with it like this, and how you can get it to look really aged, like somebody planted that right into the paper, and I just love that look. So I'm going to mist it with some brown distress ink. I'm going to take my husband's shaver, I nabbed off him right there, and I put it on all over. And as you can see, I took a baby wipe on the area that's white 1-inch strip, and I wiped down some of the ink, the distress ink, so that it would peel up. I didn't show it on here, but it peels up and it shows the lemonade color underneath, and it looks very old and very distressed. See it there? So what you do is you just put your color, 2 colors on. First the yellow, then over top the green, and then when you take your baby wipe and you wipe over it, you're going to release some of the green to show the yellow, and it's going to look very vintage and very old. I get this roll of tape that is just high enough when you take it off, and it's from the dollar store if you want to check it out. You get quite a bit for $1.25 at the dollar store, where nothing's $1 where I am. And I was just about to put it on this white cardstock, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use my Versamark, and I'm going to go around it and put the gold, the same gold I used in the background. And yes, it is a good technique. I love the technique. But when I got finished adding the gold and heat setting it and putting the image on it, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do to stand out, for that script paper to stand out. does look nice, and this is a wonderful way to get a matching cardstock behind your main image. But you will see how when I get it all said and done and it's all heat set. Don't you love watching this? Oh, honestly, it's just wonderful. But when I set the image on top of the gold, it seemed to mute out the script, and I just couldn't have that. So I switched over to black cardstock. I love my black cardstock. I get it at Michael's. It's 120 pounds. Right here, I cut it to A2 size card. I'm scoring it here, and wait till you see the difference. But I don't waste that gold that I embossed there. I am going to use my die cuts and match it up that way. So I'm just taking my Teflon bone folder. I love that because it doesn't leave any shiny residue, and look at that. Makes the gold pop. It makes the black ink pop. I love everything about it. Look at that. And I like that dollar store foam tape because it doesn't raise it up too high like the other roll. And then I'm going to take this gold, I'm going to cut it apart, and I'm going to use the butterfly out of the Wonderful World Stamp of Approval set, and I'm going to use the U. There's two fonts on the U, Y-O-U. So I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to die cut them in black with my 120 pound black and my 140 pound white. Excuse me, gold, which was white, right? Say that 10 times. Now I have my butterfly in the lower left corner there, and I have my U in this font and the other font. I love this large one. And you're going to keep the guts out of it because you're going to put the die cut back into the space right here. I'm going to seat it down in there because I want to glue two more black pieces and a gold piece on top of that. So that U is very high and the other one is just one short of being as high. So I am grabbing my glue pen. I love this glue stick. It's not a glue stick, it's a liquid. It goes on blue and it changes so that it's clear. I just love it. I'm walking around the island and I have to walk back. Yeah, I didn't have that out, sorry. So, and it's intricate, like you can get it into small places, which I really like. There it is. So watch, you can either dot it with a whole lot of dots going around, or you can actually, just like that, you can just draw it on. I love it. I got this one at Michael's, I think, and I'm going there tomorrow, and I'm going to pick up 2 or 3 more because I don't think you can have enough of them. I thought I would try it first. That's why I only bought one. And now I'm sticking it down, and I've got 3 of them on there. I'm taking it out, and look at that. It is beautiful. So now I am going to put some more glue on the other one, and we are going to add the gold. I think that's the way it's going because I can't, oh, this is the other U that I'm putting the black on. Yes, because I'm going to raise that one up as well. And the U that you see at the top there, I think I'm using that for the back page because you know me, when I do a vintage card, I have to do all sides. But then I thought, you know what, I'm going to only do 3 sides of this card. Yeah, I'm not going to do them all. So I'm setting this on, and the glue gives you enough time to situate it. And when I dot the glue here on top of the U to put the gold U, I move it over a bit so that I get that black ghosting effect when I set the gold on there, and it looks gorgeous. And this one has 3 layers. It has 2 black and 1 gold. It's super high, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, and now it's dry. Look at that. Really thick, and I love that. I'm going to show you a close-up of the ghosting of the black. And I was able to take my pokey tool and take that little dot and tittle out of the section I have right there in the O, and it didn't do anything. That's when you know you have good products, when it's not sliding all over and it glues immediately. Isn't that nice? And then it has little stars, little hearts. Beautiful, beautiful set. I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful, it's growing a flower. The name of the glue pen is Quickie Glue, and it has a really unique end on it so that you can, there it is there, that you can always remember when you see it. It kind of fans out, and look at that ghosting effect on this U. I love that font. I love this set. I'm so glad I got it, and this is the first time I opened it. The Wonderful World Stamp of Approval Kit, and look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's all lays flat, except for the gold butterfly that's in the kit, and except for you, it is totally flat on the card, that parchment script. Now I take out my wonderful Stampin' Up! 40-pound vellum, and I am going to use one of the sentiments in the kit, and it says, let me see, thinking of. That's what's on this stamp with the Versamark, and I'm going to use the gold embossing powder right over top, and this one is the Ultra Detailed Mirrored Gold by Wow. I absolutely love it. It's really fine. Works well for sentiments like this. And don't forget to put a bit of baby powder underneath before you put your Versamark on so you don't get any strays. And then you're going to heat set it, and we're going to cut it into a flag and distress it. Oh yes, it's going to look beauteous. Now this is for the front as well, but I'm going to show you how nice you can get that vellum. Here I'm taking the small Fiskars cutter, the little guillotine, and it's very sharp. It works really well, and I'm lining up the print with the lines. That gives you a nice straight edge, especially if you stamp it, you know, anywhere on the card, on the vellum, and you don't get it stamped straight in the open space. You can just match it up with these lines on the Fiskars cutter, and it will, yeah, it'll work perfectly. Then you're going to take your scissors, a pair of scissors, because we are going to make a flag out of this, and we're going to distress it with our fingernail. Yes, I did have my distress tool, but I find with vellum it looks much nicer if you just run your fingernail across it, because it lifts it up instead of cutting it. Now I'm deciding where I'm going to put it, and of course when you see the jagged edges on the script, you're going to want to put jagged edges on the vellum as well. So you're going to, whatever way you want the edging to face, I want it facing up towards me, so you just grab a hold of the vellum. You know, you want to have a good grip on it so it doesn't cut, yet it will fold just a little bit. These ones were a little harder because you didn't have a lot of space, but oh yeah, these nails came in handy. I'm just going to town here, and then I'm going to take some Stampin' Up! Glue dots. We're going to put one under Thinking Of, and we're going to put one under where my left thumb is. I'm just making it straight there, and then I'm going to distress it with my nail. And then you're asking me, Carol, is this card ever going to be finished? That's what I was thinking when I was making it. I didn't want it to stop. I love this Stamp of Approval kit. It's just wonderful. So I put the glue dot under Thinking, and then I'm going to grab another one for the end of the banner here, because I'm going to put some of those hearts. That die with the U and the U has some beautiful hearts and stars in it. This set is just wonderful. I had so much fun. I love teaching techniques. Like, I love using different techniques, and I love this technique with the parchment look that you can get out of there just by using a post-it note. Isn't it wonderful? Card making is wonderful. You can just be inspired, and I'm inspired on all three sides of my card today. Yeah, nothing but inspiration going on in this craft room. So I set down the butterfly, this wonderful, wonderful filigree that's in there, and then I put the the sentiment here. Now you're going to see me, oh yeah, I'm straightening it out, but I make a boo-boo here and I leave it in to show you how I have to remedy it. I could have taken it out and edited it so you thought everything went perfect, but that's not the way it goes. We make mistakes. So I got my baby powder. I'm going to make sure that I put baby powder on there first so that it eliminates all of the stray powder. I'm putting my Versamark nice and juicy on there, setting it aside for a minute. Here comes my baby powder. Oh yeah, lots of it too. And then I take my blush brush I get at the dollar store, where nothing's a dollar, of course. And I'm walking around the island to go and get it because when I was using my distress tools, I put it away in there. And look at that. I'm putting it over the garbage can, but boy, my room smells nice. And you can get that off without any problem with a baby wipe. So you go ahead and add that baby powder and you can stink your room up really lovely. And there you go. I'm just looking at it to see if my sentiment is straight, which makes no difference at all because when I get it on here, I am, yeah, see how I moved it over? I had a crease. I had a raised area there between my mat and my cutting mat. And I was not able to get the powder on the top word. It didn't come out. It only partially came out. So what you do is you grab a baby wipe real quick and you get that off like as quick as you can. Now you're going to see it, of course, a little bit, but you're going to take all of the embossing powder off and yeah, let me just show you what I mean when we dry it. And I love this tone on tone, leaving the Versamark on there with just clear embossing powder. It looks so pretty on the inside to have black on black. So now I put the sentiment right back on. I put it right back on the block there, and I'm going to eyeball it because I did not use my Misty. I should have used my Misty, but I'm going to trust that my eyeballs are going to get it right on. Watch this. It's amazing. I'm telling you, I never thought I would be able to do it, but I did it. Yes, all but like maybe, I shouldn't say, all but one little spot. And I'm able to take it out and I'll show you how you do it. So here we go. Yep, I got my head right over top. Oh yes, we're looking. Oh, this is intense. And I get it on there and I'm thinking, oh, do I lift it up? Press it, Carol. Look it. Oh, I did a happy dance all the way around there. Well, later on. Right now I had to get that embossing powder on. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, unbelievable. I did it. Oh man, this is amazing. I'm like a walking Misty. How crazy is that? Yes, you all know that I'm doing this rather late at night, don't you? And here, while it's still warm, after I heat set it, you want to grab your pokey tool, and a few strays got in the circle. There was nothing major. It really did set well on here. I was so proud of myself. Look at that. Almost perfect, as the Three Stooges would say. Now you want to grab your baby wipe and go over it all, and don't worry about it. It's 120-pound black cardstock from Michael's. Super thick cardstock, and then you're just going to, look at that. Oh, I just love this look. And I'm going to help it along, and then you're going to take a paper towel and get the remainder of the baby powder. I'm going to show you the front. I'm going to show you the inside here. And I thought, you know what? You could see a little bit of roughness from roughing it up with the baby wipe. So I'm going to get out some of my shimmer spray. The Silver Shimmer Shots, I think it's called. I haven't used it before, but I bought it at Sharon's store a while back. And I shook it all up. There it is. And I'm going to put it on there. So all of those little lines or whatever from the baby powder, whatever's not there, it's going to look like you meant it to be there once you put the shimmer on. It looks beautiful. Look at all that shiny silver. Love it. Yes. And then it doesn't look like you did anything wrong. I just put a paper towel over it. Now, I needed to have some firmness. You know how I like my cards thick and heavy. So I cut out a piece for the back, and it's just 1/8 of an inch shy on every side, and I'm setting it down in there. I just used my 1/2 inch ATG gun because that tape is the gold tape, which is super sticky. And I am going to do the back of the card. Now remember, I had that U from that beautiful die in the set, and I'm going to raise it up here black on black. This way it doesn't stand out and it's not taking over. I want the front of the card to be the focal point. I don't want the back of the card, but I do want to do the back. And I put U, and then I go and I get a beautiful stamp, and I think it's the one that says "Make me smile." And smiling is good for your face. It's good for people, and it doesn't use as many muscles in your body as a frown does, so you don't get older quicker. So keep on smiling. Yes, you keep young if you keep smiling. So I use that one. There you go. You make me smile. And then I'm going to, this is clear embossing powder. I love that font. Oh, it's beauteous. And then you're going to heat set it, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I like that as a card just in itself. So there you have it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Thank you for your kind comments. And if you have any questions, just leave them for me in the comments section. And you have yourself a blessed week. And I just want to say, Catherine, I love this set. This is one of my favorites. Look at that. Look at that shimmer. Isn't it beautiful? So enjoy the pictures, and we'll see you on the next video.